It's a beautiful day in Boston as the fans make their way into Fenway Park for Game 1 of a 3-game series between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, and welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox have really had a tough time lately. Losers of 7 of the last 10 games and 6 out of the last 7. They welcome the Toronto Blue Jays, where a lot was expected of the Jays this season. But so far, the Red Sox in the season series, well, they've done very well against Toronto and hoping to do the same in this series. In their 6 games this year, Boston has outscored Toronto 39-20. They've averaged nearly 10 hits a game, and of their 21 extra base hits, 16 have been for homers. Pitching staff has held the Jays to 1 run or less in 3 of the 6 games. This while striking out 60 batters in 52 innings. We welcome in Jerry Remy, and Jerry, certainly the Red Sox have had a tough time lately, and the defense has been roughed up.
It has been, and it really cost them a ball game last night here at Fenway Park. Jon Lester pitching very good baseball for the Red Sox, but he had to come back into the mound, and instead of a double play to get out of the inning, the ball sails in center field. That extends the inning for the Minnesota Twins, and of course, we know what the end result was. The Red Sox lose the ball game. If you look at the 11 errors in the last 7 games for the Red Sox through the streak, where they have not been playing very well, the defense has kind of let them down. So they've got to get back to the basics, playing the way they did early in the season with the good defense that helps out the good pitching, and of course the results will be much better.
They'll try to do that tonight. We've got an update on the Red Sox closer Joel Hanrahan when we come back to Fenway Park. Between the Jays and the Red Sox. Welcome backside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. Well, the injuries have been piling up for the Red Sox lately, and of course, the Red Sox closer Joel Hanrahan placed on the 60-day DL yesterday. We learned more today. Of course, he walked off the mound injured with what appeared to be just a stiff forearm at the time. We have learned more since, and he has now been checked out as Joel Hanrahan, after this pitch, walked off the mound, and it could be quite some time until we see him again. So Joel Hanrahan gets checked out. With more on that situation, we check in with Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, Joel Hanrahan actually on his way back from a meeting with Dr. Andrews right now, and he's clearly disappointed with the way that his season has been going in a Red Sox uniform. And with that, we take a look at our Geico quote of the day, and it comes from Joel. And he had to say, it doesn't look good. Leave it up to the experts. See what they have to say. Let them put their heads together and go from there. If it's bad, I'm still 31. My personal setup will be all right. On the bad side, I've been here and I haven't been able to do anything I want to show anyone who I really am. So that part, that will stink if something bad happens. At this point, manager John Farrell said there's really 2 options: a conservative approach, which will be rest and rehab, or season-ending surgery. Don Hanrahan expected to meet with the medical staff upon his return.
Ladies and gentlemen. Well, tonight on the mound for the Red Sox is Jon Lester. He's 4-0 on the season. Last time out against the Jays, he gave up 6 runs, 5 earned. Looking to bounce back tonight against Toronto. The first pitch from Fenway is coming your way next.
Hey, Big Papi here. Send me your story on why you are coming to Fenway on Mother's Day this Sunday. I will pick one story and meet you and your mom before the game. Go to NESN.com/story to submit your Mother's Day story. Yes!
Well, again, you can do that by going to NESN.com, and you have to have tickets, of course, to Sunday's game to be eligible to be the winner. Big Papi will choose one of the best stories, and you have a chance to meet him along with your mother here on Sunday from Fenway Park. So a special Mother's Day game from Big Papi on Mother's Day. Well, it is a beautiful night tonight at Fenway Park. The lights are on as the Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays about to begin a series. Red Sox in their red jerseys tonight take the field from Fenway. Let's check out the visiting Blue Jays starting lineup. Leading it off, and the DH, Rajay Davis. Melky Cabrera is in left field. He bats second. Jose Bautista in right field bats third, with Edwin Encarnacion at first base. J.P. Arancibia does the catching with Mark DeRosa at second base. Brett Laurie is at third base. Kobe Rasmus in center field. And Meiser is Turris bats ninth at shortstop. It's brought to you by Jordan's Furniture. On the mound tonight for the Red Sox is Jon Lester, his 8th start of the year. 4-0 with a 3.30 earned run average in 43 2/3 innings, 40 strikeouts for the Red Sox ace, as opponents hitting at .220 against Jon Lester.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you on NESN by Southwest Airlines. They are 11th in the league, 22 errors in 35 games. Will Middlebrooks will be at third base. Stephen Drew, the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. Mike Napoli, the first baseman. Left to right, Daniel Nava, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Shane Victorino. And Jared Saltalamacchia doing the catching for Jon Lester.
Well, the umpire crew tonight, Alan Porter has the play calling the balls and strikes with Greg Gibson at first base. Hunter Wintelstead is at second. And the crew chief, Jerry Lane, is at third base. Tonight's game is available in Spanish by pushing the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Well, again, just a beautiful day today in Boston. It's now 66 degrees. It's cooled off a little bit. Breeze in from right at 14 miles per hour. Partly cloudy, the forecast for the remainder of the evening. As the Red Sox just dropped 3 out of 4 to the Minnesota Twins. And now welcome the Toronto Blue Jays in as part of this homestand for the Red Sox. So Jon Lester and his 4-0 record about to deal with the Blue Jays, and they so far have been a disappointment. Certainly on paper, thought to be one of the best teams in the majors coming in and picked by many to win the American League East. But they are 13-23 coming into this first game of the series. First pitch of the ball game, Davis is swinging and he lifts a fly ball to short right. In comes Victorino for the first out of the ball game. One pitch and one out for Jon Lester.
That lineup has changed a little bit for the Blue Jays since the last time we saw him up in Toronto. Rajay Davis in that leadoff spot tonight. Brett Laurie, who was leading off, down in the 7th hole.
Well, John Gibbons coming under a lot of fire. He just checked on Rajay Davis as he went by, and Rajay apparently stretching out an arm after that swing. Second stint for John Gibbons as the manager of the Blue Jays. First time was 0-4 through 2008, and now back again under a lot of pressure with this much expectation of his Blue Jays team to succeed this season, and off to the start that they are. They are 7-12 at home, 6-11 on the road. This is to third base on a hop. Middlebrooks' throw will be in time. 2 down as Melky Cabrera is retired. And the Jays starting the day 8.5 games back of the Red Sox, Orioles, and Yankees.
And the surprising thing about the Jays is we see Jose Bautista come to the plate. The fact that they haven't pitched. They're near the bottom of the league in pitching, and the offense has struggled, which really surprises me, this early in the season.
It surprises him, too. He expected a lot more out of both. And I think by season's end, there will be a lot more out of both. Certainly they're waiting for their offense to pick up. They get too many good hitters in this lineup not to. Perhaps one of, if not the best, 3-4 combination going with Bautista batting third and Edwin Encarnacion batting fourth.
One thing they can do is hit home runs. They're second in the league in home runs hit, only behind the Cleveland Indians.
And Bautista and Encarnacion have combined for 17 between the two of them already this year. As Bautista's got 7, Encarnacion with 10. To left field. Nava moving over and under. Makes the catch, and Lester has a quick and easy 1-2-3 first inning. Red Sox are coming up. And in the bottom of the first, our lineup is brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Jacoby Ellsbury leads it off in center field with Shane Victorino in right. Dustin Pedroia at second base bats third with David Ortiz at DH. Mike Napoli at first base with Daniel Nava in left. Jared Saltalamacchia doing the catching, batting seventh with Will Middlebrooks at third base eighth. And Stephen Drew is at shortstop batting ninth. And leading it off here is Jacoby Ellsbury. As he takes ball one from Ramon Ortiz, who gets the start tonight. His numbers this season with AAA Buffalo. The Bisons 4 games, 3 starts, 2-0 with a 2.18 earned run average. This marks his second appearance but first start for the Jays this season. It's released by San Francisco at the end of March, at the end of spring training. This one is fouled off over by the Sox dugout. Has played for 8 major league clubs over the last 12 seasons. He was signed originally by the California Angels, as they were known then, in May of 1995. 2-1 pitch is outside.
Now the Red Sox tonight will see the fastball. They'll see the breaking ball and changeup. Last pitch to Jacoby was the changeup.
This is grounded foul. Full count now. Ellsbury at 263 with a home run. 12 runs batted in. Ramon Ortiz in his career against the Red Sox 3-3 with a 4.67 earned run average in 12 games. He's not faced the Red Sox since the championship season of 04. It's on the ground to second. DeRosa throws out Ellsbury for the first out of the first inning.
Let's take a look at the Blue Jays defense. They're 9th in the league with 20 errors in 36 games. Brett Laurie will be at third base. Maisuras Torres the shortstop. Mark DeRosa at second. Edwin Encarnacion the first baseman. Left to right, Melky Cabrera, Colby Rasmussen, Jose Batista, and J.P. Arancibia doing the catching for Ortiz.
One down here in the first inning, and it brings up Shane Victorino. Just under 300 is Victorino as he takes a pitch up and away. Shane checks in hitting at 299. 2 homers and 10 runs batted in. Victorino is 7 for 18 in the series against the Twins. That's a strike, and it's 2-1. Victorino 7 for his last 18 at 389 with a double, 2 home runs in the last 4 games. Now to head of this, fouling it on the ground.
Victorino, one of 3 members of the Red Sox that have faced Ortiz. He's 4 for 8 in his career against him. David Ortiz has faced him, and Stephen Drew has faced him.
On the ground right side and through into right field. A base hit for Shane Victorino. Send it down to field level and Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, the Red Sox have just really first encountered their tough stretch at this season. So with that, we want to open up a question to our fans at home. It's our AT&T Twitter question of the night. And we want to know how important they feel it is to win this weekend series against the Blue Jays and what will be the difference maker. Send us your tweets to the hashtag #BackOnTrack, and we'll reveal the best ones later in the game.
All right, Jenny, Dustin Pedroia is standing in here with 1 out and 1 on, and Big Papi waiting on deck. And as we told you off the top, Red Sox have enjoyed the season series so far. 4 games to 2 of the first 6 that they have played against the Jays. Will bounce in 2-0. Dustin Pedroia 9 for 17 in the series against the Twins. Last 5 games he's hit at 450 as he's picked it up since coming home. Had kind of a quiet road trip, but he's back at it here at home.
He's one member of the Red Sox that certainly enjoys hitting here at Fenway Park.
Victorino started and stopped, but there's ball 4 to Pedroia. First walk given up by Ramon Ortiz. MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go, and is available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At bat delivers Red Sox baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit redsox.com for details. 2 on and 1 out here in the first inning. We have David Ortiz coming up, the Red Sox DH. It's been quiet lately, but still that average at 353. 4 homers and 17 runs batted in.
David right now 0 for his last 13 since that hitting streak has stopped for him.
And just 2 for his last 18. As he takes strike 1. The key matchup is brought to you by Acura. Ortiz versus Ortiz. 5 for 15 is David with 4 home runs. 4 runs batted in. .34 versus 34, and this will miss down low. One out single for Victorino, then the walk by Pedroia. 1-1 is a swing and a miss. David all cranked up for that, but misses 1 and 2.
Yeah, did not get a fastball on that count. Got the changeup and had David a little bit off balance. There's the changeup grip, the off-speed pitch, moving down and away from Ortiz.
David doesn't chase, it's away, and it is 2 and 2. On deck for Boston, Mike Napoli, as the Red Sox bat here in the home half of the first inning, trying to get to Ramon Ortiz. 20th pitch of the inning, and it's a ground ball right side. DeRosa flips to second for 1, on to first for 2. Good stretch by Encarnacion. Ortiz grounds into the DP that ends the first. Top half of the second inning as Edwin Encarnacion leads it off for the Jays. 4, 5, and 6 in the inning. And a ground ball to third base on one high hop to Middlebrooks. Throw is dug out by Napoli on the other side. On Sunday's all-new Ultimate Red Sox show presented by AAA, Peter Gammons talks with Shane Victorino. Jenny revisits the run walk to home base, and Clay Mortensen answers Little Leaguers' questions. Catch all that and more on the Ultimate Red Sox show Sunday at noon. One out, 4 in a row, retired by Jon Lester to start his night, and here's J.P. Arancibia. 252, 9 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Here's strike 1. Arancibia moving up in the order, now batting 5th in the order. 9 home runs, off to a good start power-wise, and this one fouled off to the right. It's up high for ball 1, 1 and 2. Arancibia in 6 games against the Red Sox, hitting at .304 as he rips this foul. Arancibia tied for 4th in the American League with the 9 home runs. Lester going back and forth here with Saltalamacchia as they try to get on the same page. Ball and 2 strikes to Arancibia.
Changeup.
And it works. Arancibia with a swing and a miss strikes out. First K of the night for Jon Lester.
First strikeout coming on the changeup. That's going to be down and outside the strike zone. The pitch zone on Nesson is brought to you by Amica. Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance.
2 down here in the second inning, and brings up Mark DeRosa. 229 with 3 homers and 12 runs batted in for the veteran. He starts at second base and takes strike 1. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. His first home run against the Red Sox back on April 5th. One of the 3 that he's hit so far this season. His pitch misses up top, and it's now 2-1 to DeRosa.
Had pretty good numbers against Jon Lester, 2 for 8 in his career. One of those hits a home run.
I mentioned the home run on April the 5th. It had been 3 years and over 300 plate appearances in between home runs.
Another good change up there by Lester. A lot of times we don't see John throw a lot of change-ups early in the ball game, but he's thrown a couple this inning.
This one fouled off. This is already the 3rd start against Toronto this season. He's the 5th Red Sox pitcher to start 3 games versus Toronto in the club's first 36 games of the year. Last time it happened, it was our own Tim Wakefield in 2007. 3-2 broken back grounder towards third. Middlebrooks has been busy tonight. Throws him out and ends the inning. Lester's retired the first 6 Jays he's faced tonight. Last half of the second inning back at Fenway Park without a score is Mike Napoli, followed by Daniel Nava and Jared Saltalamacchia scheduled to bat here in the bottom of the second inning. Ramon Ortiz with his first pitch, it is going to miss for ball 1. Napoli at 268 to start the night. 6 homers and 32 runs batted in. Napoli was 4 for 15 in the series against the Twins. Still leading the majors in extra base hits now with 23 on the year, including a major league best 16 doubles. A run down and in, 2-1. Fouled off to the right, 2-2. Ramon Ortiz, who gets a start tonight for the Blue Jays, made his major league debut in 1999. Spent time in Japan, pitched for the Oryx Buffaloes in 2008. He's appeared in 4 postseason games. Won his only World Series start for the Angels in 2002. This is on the ground to shortstop as Turris. They will throw out Napoli for the first out of the second inning. Well, tonight's Quest for the Cup update is brought to you by Xfinity from Comcast. Xfinity, the future of awesome. Congratulations to the Sharks, Blackhawks, and Senators who've all advanced to the conference semifinals. Bruins, Ducks, and Kings could all join them tonight in second round wins tonight. If Los Angeles does advance against the Blues, it'll be only the second time since joining the league in 1967. LA will advance in a best-of-7 series after losing the first 2 games. And Bruins' David Krejci skates into action, leading all playoff scorers with 5 goals and 10 points and a plus-minus of +7.
And from the Garden tonight, no score in the first period. A couple of Toronto teams in town.
Keep you abreast of all the action. Get you an update at the end of the first period from Jack and Brick. Those of you who are with us tonight on Nesson Plus. Nava will take the pitch outside and is now ahead 3-0. Ball 4 and a 4-pitch walk. Close pitch, but not getting it. There's Nava down to first with his second walk given up by Ramon Ortiz as John Gibbons peers in. Well, now 1 on, and Jared Saltalamacchia coming up. 253, 4 homers, and 9 runs batted in for Salty. Saltalamacchia has now appeared behind the plate in each of the last 8 games. 5 starts during that time. They're into the shift form on the right side of the infield. They play for him to pull in the outfield. And he puts it through the shift in right center field. Heading from first to third is Nava. Throw goes to second, and the Red Sox have runners at the corners with 1 down.
A pretty nice job there by Saltalamacchia, staying back on the changeup. An off-speed pitch by Ortiz. And Saltalamacchia is able to stay back on it, put it on a line up over the head of the infielders. And Nava goes first to third with 1 out.
Well, Saltalamacchia is starting to heat it up. 5 for his last 8. First and third, 1 down here in the second inning, and Will Middlebrooks coming up. 194 with 6 home runs and 12 runs batted in. Middlebrooks takes strike 1 over the outside corner. Turned to the lineup against the Twins last night. Missed 1 game after leaving Tuesday night's game in the 7th inning due to right side pain. Middlebrooks has hit safely in 8 of the last 12 games with an at-bat. And a swing and a miss, 0-2. The breaking ball has fooled him once. He took it on the first pitch for a strike over the outside corner, comes back with it again, and is now down 0-2.
Yeah, 2 pitches almost in an identical spot away from Middlebrooks, both sliders. Looks like a slider again.
Trying to triple up. And too far outside this time, not tantalizing enough.
Very good, Don. Trips. Threw him trips, and he didn't bite on the third one.
Quads on the slide. Two is in the air down the right field line. Bautista towards the line and the stands. He will not get there. I'm not sure he knew how much more room he had. He was kind of gingerly making his way to the stands, and no one lands and jumps up into the seats.
Yeah, he's covering a lot of ground and trying to get to this pop-up. He's looking toward that wall, see how much room he's got, and it's not very much at all. By the way, that was also a slider. That's 5 straight sliders.
Wow.
That Queens?
Quins.
Oh, Quins.
Quins on the slider. This is on the ground, is short. To the backhand goes his Torres. To second base where it's dropped, and a run will score. Then from third comes Nava, and the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead.
Now, these are the kind of breaks the Red Sox got to capitalize right now. As you see, as Torres going to his right, the throw is going to be a little bit off target. DeRosa can't handle it. Everybody's safe, and a run comes in. Let's see where this throw is. It's stretching out as DeRosa, and it's off to his right. I would guess that would go as a shortstop on the an error on the shortstop, but we'll have to wait and see.
It is an error on the shortstop, Myceres Torres, and an RBI awarded to Will Middlebrooks, who reaches on the fielder's choice. So 2 on and 1 out, and Stephen Drew, the batter. That one's in the dirt, corralled by Aaron Sebia.
This is some of the problems we were talking about. We were in Toronto, how John Gibbons was saying they've been having trouble turning double plays, and they just messed one up at second base, give the Red Sox a run.
There have been so many innings that they could have been out of instead of adding to their starting pitchers' pitch count. And the defense has really failed them so far this season. 1-0 is a swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Drew riding a 5-game hitting streak. He's been hot lately. 9 for his last 20. Home run, 5 RBIs. Saltalamacchia at second base, Middlebrooks at first base, and 1 out. On the ground to first base, to the backhand goes Encarnacion, a bobble. He'll flip to first for the out. Another chance to turn a double play, perhaps by the wayside for the Jays.
Well, the Jays giving the Red Sox a couple of breaks in this inning. Encarnacion has not made an error yet this season at first base. This ball bounces out of the glove when he goes to throw it. So he just wisely goes to first base to get the 1 out, but the Red Sox get 2 men in scoring position.
So second and third with 2 outs, and Jacoby Ellsbury climbing in. Grounded out to second base in the first inning. In there for strike 1 over the inside corner. Ellsbury trying to grab some 2-out magic here as the Red Sox like to add to this 1-0 advantage. Fouls it off himself and is down 0-2. Fair number of sliders in this inning from Ortiz.
Every single pitch to Will Middlebrooks was a slider, and it continues. That was a breaking ball that time to Ellsbury.
Pete Walker, the pitching coach here for the Toronto Blue Jays. Eastline, Connecticut native, UConn grad. Now stepping off is Ramon Ortiz. Ellsbury reaches out, protects the plate, and fouls it off to the left. Well, for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or one where the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital. CVS is aiming for a goal of $25,000 in donations this season. 2 outs here in the home half of the second inning. Red Sox have a 1-0 lead. And Ellsbury fouls off another. This one a little harder back into the seats.
Last time Ortiz faced the Red Sox was 2004.
Two is on the ground to second base. DeRosa slides to his right, throws out Ellsbury and ends the inning. So the Red Sox grab a run in the second, take a 1-0 lead, 3-2. Fenway Park, great crowd on hand tonight for game 1 of the 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. As Brett Laurie leads it off here for the Jays. Laurie sliding down to the 7th spot in the Toronto order. Just a 179 average so far. Liner caught at third on a hot shot. Middlebrooks reels it in.
Now Middlebrooks has been very busy early with ground balls and now line drives. Laurie hitting the ball very well, but Middlebrooks just puts out that left arm and takes a base hit away.
The Blue Jays have been very aggressive. The first out of each of the first 3 innings has been on one pitch. Rajai Davis in the first, Edwin Encarnacion in the second, and now Brett Lawrie in the 3rd inning. Kobe Rasmus stands in with 1 out in the inning. And that is in there for strike 1. We welcome Jack Edwards and Andy Brickley at the Garden as the Bruins and Leafs play Game 5 tonight. Gentlemen, what's going on after the first period?
I was going to ask you guys, how's Toronto playing this? They're back against the wall. They're ready to get eliminated. Is it helter-skelter, or are they just playing it cautiously?
All right, guys, thanks very much. It sounds like the Bruins need to step it up in the second period. Kobe Rasmus going to take that pitch up high, and it is a full count. He's been a little more patient here with Lester. Rasmus 241 with 6 homers and 14 runs batted in. Center fielder for the Blue Jays, and he'll foul it straight back. 92 on the fastball that time from Lester. Jones wins on the year at New York in his first outing, then at Toronto against these Blue Jays. Won at Cleveland and at home against Oakland. No decisions in his last 2 outings, and both of those were on the road. Swing and a miss. Strikes out Rasmus. Second strikeout for Jon Lester. 2 down. Fans, here's your chance to place a winning bid on one or more of the autographed Jackie Robinson tribute jerseys worn by Red Sox players and coaches during the Patriots Day game at Fenway Park. Place your bid today at redsox.com/Robinson, and know all proceeds will go to the Red Sox Foundation and its charitable programming. Well, one pitch, it looks like he went, and he did. It's 0-2.
Now, that jersey we just showed you, did you see the autograph on that?
I did not.
I can't figure out who it was.
I was reading. I couldn't really tell. Each player signed their own jersey.
It was actually Dustin Pedroia's autograph, and I would have never guessed that.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought Dustin had a pretty good autograph. Oh,
can you figure that out?
No, I would not have guessed that. But the jersey was dirty, so there's a pretty good chance it's Dustin. 1-2 pitch. This one is chopped back to the mound. Lester's got it. He'll flip underhanded, and in time to get his Turris. Lester's retired the first 9. 2.5 done from the Fens. 1-0 Boston. Back at Fenway Park as we venture into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Red Sox have a 1-0 advantage. Shane Victorino, Dustin Pedroia, David Ortiz. 2, 3, and 4 for the Red Sox due up here in the 3rd. Victorino singled in the first inning. He's got 1 of 2 Boston hits in the game. In there for a strike, 2-1. Lone Ortiz gave up a run in the second inning. Could have been a lot worse as there was an error mixed in there. Could have been a double play to get out of the inning. Red Sox took advantage and were able to get a run. No charge to Meiser is Turris, the shortstop for the Blue Jays. Framed by Aaron Sebia, but it's ball 4. And there's the third walk given up by Ramon Ortiz. It's time out for a Fenway fan story and Jenny Dell.
Don, I'm out here in the bleachers with Liza. And Liza, you personally affected by the Boston Marathon bombings. Can you tell us your story?
Yeah, I was there that day to cheer on a friend, and then I was obviously hurt, and then I went to BI, and it was great. I mean, it was a great hospital, but it was a hard experience.
You said a couple of the players came to visit you. Did that help lift the spirit?
Oh, it was so great. They were hilarious. They were so funny.
I'm sure they were. And now you here are with 50 graduating master's degree from Boston College. Is that correct? And you helped organize this group together. What made you want to come here to Fenway Park?
I just thought it was a great way to kick off grad week, and everyone loves the Red Sox, so we got a big group together, and we're having an awesome time.
And after the marathon bombings, obviously personally affected, but the way that you've seen kind of the community in Boston come together, what has that meant to you personally?
It's been pretty incredible. I mean, I think just seeing my friends from Boston College and people throughout Boston, I think it's been just an experience that I wasn't even clearly expecting or hoping for, but then, I don't know, it really lifted my spirits the entire time, just knowing how many people were around me supporting me.
Well, thank you very much for being here, and thank you for getting this group together. We're happy that you're healthy, and Jerry Remy bought you some hot dogs. I think one already disappeared here, but fans, if you have a reason of why you're coming to Fenway Park, please write in NESN.com/stories. Let us know why. I may interview you in a later game.
All right, Jenny, is a fly ball to right caught by Bautista. And as Victorino had been off, he returns to the bag at first. They retire Pedroia. 1 out, 1 on, and that'll bring up David Ortiz. Big Poppy bounced into a 4-6-3 double play in the first inning. Blue Jays going to the shift on the right side. And they move the third baseman, Brett Laurie, to the right side of the infield. They throw to first, and back to the bag is Victorino. Ortiz jumping on the first pitch and fouling it off.
Ortiz looked like that time he was trying to hit the ball the other way toward that green monster. Fastball away and fouls it off to the third base side.
Victorino starts and stops on a pitch outside to Big Poppy. 1-1. Red Sox continuing their 7-day, 7-game homestand. First of 3 against the Blue Jays after they dropped 3 out of 4 to the Minnesota Twins. Check on first, and Victorino back to the bag again. Nineteen scheduled games between the Red Sox and Jays this season, as that'll miss to David, and it is now 2-1.
Ortiz liable to see a changeup on this 2-1 count.
Napoli waits on deck with 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Throw to first, and a few of these have been close. Ortiz got a pretty good move.
It's quick feet to first base. And that's what it takes for a right-hander to have a good move to first base. Very quick feet.
Another throw over. This one gets away. To second goes Victorino, run down by DeRosa, the second baseman, and into scoring position now goes Victorino.
Well, you know, in the open tonight, we talked about the Red Sox defense having to improve, and the defense tonight so far has not been good for the Toronto Blue Jays. As Victorino gets a free ride into second base on that errant throw or pickoff attempt by the pitcher Ortiz.
Second miscue of the night committed by the Jays. And now they will put Ortiz on with first base open. This will be the fourth walk given up by Ortiz, the first of the intentional variety. So David down to first base, 2 on, 1 out. Red Sox have had at least 2 men on in every inning. Two on, 1 out, and Mike Napoli coming up. Napoli grounded out to shortstop in the second inning, 0 for 1. In there for a strike.
And so far tonight, the Jays have had some problem handling the baseballs. First, Mysurus Torres with a bad throw to second base. Ground ball, Encarnacion was going to go to second and pops out of his glove, gets the out at first. And then the attempted pickoff gets by Encarnacion, and Victorino gets in scoring position.
Well, the Jays with 10 errors in the 7 games in the season series against Boston. And 2 of them tonight. And tough to watch for John Gibbons. Mysurus Torres has got 1. The pitcher Ramon Ortiz has 1. Not close. And a good play by Aaron Sebia coming out of the crouch and darting to his right.
Yeah, that slider just kept going away and away from Aaron Sebia, and somehow he's able to turn the glove over and make a catch in the webbing of the glove. At first I thought he was going to try to backhand that ball, but then got the glove turned around.
Outside, 2-2. Ortiz now walked 4 in the game. He just did walk Ortiz intentionally. Pete Walker cheering him on. Victorino at second and Ortiz at first. 1 out. Napoli will foul it off. Scoop, scoop, scoop for the home team with delicious Hood Red Sox ice cream. Catch your favorites in the freezer aisle today. Always good, always Hood. Trips on the scoop, Jerry.
Yeah, three scoops. Scoop, scoop, scoop. How come there's only 1 scoop on the cone?
That's a great point. It's really only 1 scoop.
Got to make a bigger sign and cover up, so the people can't see the field. 3 scoops.
2-2 is on the ground towards third. Laurie will go to second for 1 on to first base, and it's not in time. Napoli gets down the line, stays out of the double play.
That's one thing about the Red Sox, in this streak that they've been in, which has not been a good one, they have continued to hustle, and Napoli hustling all the way down that first base line to stay out of the double play. Tough ball to turn over, obviously, because the ball was not hit very hard. But Napoli doing what he's supposed to do, run hard all the way and keep the inning alive. Looked like a traffic cop out there, hoping for the out at first base was Ortiz.
But it says he's got to throw more pitches. First and third now with 2 down. He's got to deal with Nava. who did not deal well with. He walked him on 4 pitches last time up. Little miss to Nava, and it is a ball and a strike. In the air to center field. Kobe Rasmus backs up a few steps, is underneath it, and makes the catch. It ends the inning. The Red Sox strand a pair as we've now played 3, 1-0 Boston. Well, it's on to the top half of the 4th inning, and it's the top of the Blue Jays order. Rajai Davis, who leads it off, is the DH who takes ball 1. Flied out to right field in the 1st inning. 0 for 1 in the game. 4 ground ball outs, 2 strikeouts for Lester. Here's a pop up and foul ground. Saltalamacchia back, but with no play. Rajai Davis, the speedster, and followed by Melky Cabrera and Jose Bautista here in the 4th inning. Blue Jays have mounted nothing so far against Jon Lester. Ball 3, 3-1. They're missing by a lot. Davis will pop it up. Foul ground again. Saltalamacchia this time also will not have a play. Into the first row of seats. Looked like for a moment he might, but it just kept going into foul ground, and it's a full count now.
Now, in the old days, before they had those new additional seats down there near the in that area, they've got a couple of new roads that they put in a long time ago. Those were all outs. Now they find foul territory.
Protecting the plate is Davis, fouling it off to the right, out of play. Former Oakland A, Rajai Davis. On the ground left side, Middlebrooks to his left. And the throws in plenty of time for out number 1 of the inning. We'll talk to Victor Rodriguez, assistant hitting coach with the Red Sox in between innings. And our first question was about Stephen Drew and how he has picked it up.
Yeah, he's done a good job, you know, not really trying to do too much. He knew he lost a lot of time, so, you know, he stick with his daily preparation and trust it, and right now we've seen the result.
I think you're seeing a guy tonight that they have not seen in a long time, Ortiz, and he is really throwing a lot of sliders early in this ball game.
Yeah, we saw a game in which he pitched against Pawtucket, and we saw that same thing. He threw a lot of sliders, he threw a lot of breaking ball. So in the scouting report today, we kind of preach to them, you know, to be patient, let the ball travel, and stay in the big part of the field, because they were going to get a lot of that.
Well, Melky Cabrera is sending one right to the wall, but Nava's there to make the catch, and there are 2 outs. So thanks to Victor Rodriguez for joining us in between innings. Nava right up against the wall with no more room to work with. 2 down.
He gauged that very well, didn't he, Daniel Nava out there in left field, because that's sometimes a tough one. You don't know if it's going to scrape the wall or drop in front, and Nava goes right back, puts his back up against it, and is able to make the catch.
I want to ask you about something that Victor Rodriguez just said. Probably not fair with 2 outs. We'll see. As Bautista will take ball 1. They have hitting meetings back in your day. I mean, when you would start a series, tell me what your coaches would do.
Not as anywhere near as intense as they are today, and as informative as they are today. We would basically have a scout that would go out and watch a team that played 2 series or series before us.
Right.
And the only scouting report we would get would be the basics, really. And a lot of times they didn't even see the guys that we were facing because they were not pitching in that series that they were watching. We'll be talking more about that after.
6-3 on the put out here to get Bautista in the inning. We are through 3 1/2. 1-0 Boston. Back at Fenway Park, 1-0. Red Sox on top of the Blue Jays as Jared Saltalamacchia leads it off here in the bottom of the 4th. And there is strike 1 from Ramon Ortiz. It was the 67th pitch of his outing. Saltalamacchia singled in the 2nd inning. As he takes strike 2.
You're talking, Don, about the scouting reports, and basically we used to have to just remember on our own what this guy did to us in the past, or some guys kept books on pitches, not all. Now it's totally different. Billy Broadbent does such a great job for the Red Sox in their video department that, I mean, you can call up anything and he's got it. I mean, you're at bat against somebody 3 weeks ago, it doesn't matter. And so the technology that they have today and the ability to watch tape and see, watch guys outing, what they did against them, what they do against other hitters is just remarkable.
It's incredible. I mean, they can even watch what they try to do against hitters that were similar to them also, which I've seen some guys do.
Manny Ramirez used to do that. He used to watch how certain pitches pitched to A-Rod because he felt that was the same way that they were going to try to attack him.
Yeah.
I found that very interesting, but it's totally different. They did such a great job with all the stuff that they have available to them today. And you can go up there for hours and just study.
Now, did you keep notes or no?
No, I didn't. I just tried to go by memory. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting because I know the pitchers, they get together for their meeting. And that goes on at the beginning of every series. And the hitters do the same thing.
Yeah.
But
our meetings were pretty weak. I mean, because, and I don't mean to take anything away from the scouting that was going on beforehand. But they would scout a series. But then, you had something on the team, like when they might hit and run, when, how you might try to position against certain guys, how they're swinging the bat at that particular time. But you really didn't have much on the pitches because I didn't see those pitches in the series.
That doesn't make any sense.
It didn't make any sense, So it's totally different. It's much. I would love to have an opportunity to be able to go up and, watch stuff like that on a daily basis.
Swing and a miss as Saltalamacchia strikes out for the first out of the inning. NESN's coverage of Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Eastern Bank. Running your own business takes a team effort. As the #1 SBA lender in New England 3 years in a row, Eastern Bank is a key part of your lineup. See how Eastern Bank puts you first. One out here in the 4th inning, and a drive to left field, deep and far, and that ball is going to be high off the wall. Will Middlebrooks is headed to second base. He will get there sliding with a wall ball double with one down here in the 4th inning.
Now Middlebrooks has had very good success against the Blue Jays this season, and so far tonight reached on an error, and now high off that left field wall. Looked like when it left the bat, it had a chance. Melky Cabrera turns around. He's going to watch it, but he's going to watch it bounce off the wall. Pretty strong throw to second base. But Middlebrooks in scoring position with 1 out.
One out. Middlebrooks at second base, and Stephen Drew, the batter. And charging in from third was Brett Laurie. Drew takes a ball down low. His second at bat of the night. Stephen grounding out to first base in the second inning. 333 with runners in scoring position, and 7 for his last 13 in that category. And Brooks at second base with 1 out. 2-0. Now, Jerry, I wonder if guys almost have too much information when they come to the plate.
I think you can get caught in that trap if you are a young player coming to the big leagues. It's like any other job. You know, you figure out what you have to do to be successful. And I think hitters are the same way, and players are the same way. They figure out what they need to see when they want to see it.
You could watch all the video. You could look at all the scouting reports the scouts provide for you.
And, you know, you could overload yourself, too. Right. And then you still got to go up there and hit, you know. So I think the more mature you get at the major league level, you learn how to use that stuff and how it's going to benefit you.
I just don't know how you remembered all of that. I think about the conversations I've had with Jim Palmer. He remembers everybody he faced and what he threw him and when.
It's really amazing.
Incredible.
You know, it really is. I mean, he could tell you a hit that you got against him on what pitch it was. Right. You know.
3-1 pitch to Stephen Drew, and a pop-up foul off to the left out of play.
I'll tell you one thing I would have liked as being a base stealer would be the ability to watch that on tape.
So-and-so's move?
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's something you had to really pick up on the fly or try to pick up from the dugout. And if you had that on video, that's something you could study before the game and have a very good idea on what the guy's move was like before he even got on base, if he got on base.
Right. Well, I'm sure they have that now.
Sure they do. Yep.
Drew to right center field. Rasmus on the run. He will dive and make the catch head first. Nice play by Kobe Rasmus in center field for the second out of the inning.
Looked like the ball was going to drop in, but a lot of ground covered by Rasmus on this play. Kobe Rasmus started back one step, then comes in, goes into the dive, able to close the glove up before he hits the grass. And records the second out of the inning. Ortiz very animated after that catch.
2 down here in the fourth inning. Middlebrook still at second base, and Jacoby Ellsbury coming up. Ellsbury has done the same thing twice tonight. It's ground out to second base, and Mark DeRosa has been up to the task twice so far tonight. There's a grounder foul down towards the tarp area. Covidien, delivering innovative healthcare products across the globe, is a proud sponsor of the Red Sox Foundation.
You know, I'm sure you found out, even in your career, doing this, what you need and what you don't need.
Right.
Yeah. At first, you
remember all the stuff I started with?
Information overload.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, everybody's like that.
My first year, I had so much stuff. There wasn't room for my scorebook. This is in the air to left, down the line. Cabrera coming in. He'll make the catch. It ends the inning. Middlebrooks is left at second. Red Sox lead by a run. Pouches, the healthy alternative to tobacco for professional baseball. For more information and to get the product the Red Sox players use, visit getgrinds.com today. It's been a nice night here in Boston after a very nice day. And the Red Sox have a 1-0 advantage into the top half of the fifth inning. Edwin Encarnacion to lead it off here for the Jays. And the first pitch in there for a strike. Now the Bruins trail 1-0. Tyler Bozak has scored tonight for the Maple Leafs. It was actually a short-handed goal for the Maple Leafs. Encarnacion rips this foul into the seats. Encarnacion grounding out to third base in the second inning. Six ground ball outs for Lester so far, 2 strikeouts. There's a ground ball down the third baseline. Middlebrooks has got it for the first out of the inning. Send it down to Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, you'll see here, this is David and Alex both sitting in the stands. David just finished his cancer treatment today from a brain tumor, and Alex is from London and is starting his treatments at MGH for a brain tumor. His mom raised over $600,000 to get him here from London. And both boys have been staying at Christopher Haven. It's a place that houses children getting their treatments and their families. And the Clay Buchholz Foundation are actually helping fund that. They're actually sitting in Buchholz's seats tonight, and Clay got all the Red Sox players to sign their shirts, and he gave him his gloves, too.
That's great. We wish them well. This one is foul back. Right in behind home plate, enjoying this game. And now they've been on television.
They deserve a good day.
The one pitch popped up, went around the mound. Lester vacates. Middlebrooks comes in and takes care of out number 2.
One of the busier games that Will Middlebrooks has had this season.
Yes. He's had 5 assists and a putout of his own. 2 putouts of his own.
They know they're on TV right now.
A pop-up foul off to the right out of play. Yeah, 5 groundouts that he's assisted on, 2 putouts that he has made. So 7 plays altogether. A one pitch is fouled off.
Swinging on top of that cut fastball is DeRosa, and right off the inside of the foot, the instep. Is that what they call it, the instep?
Sure. And 2 to DeRosa. He grounded out to Will Middlebrooks at third base in the second inning. Fouled off to the right out of play. Brett Lawrie waiting on deck. Blue Jays batting here in the top half of the 5th inning. Down the right field line, foul, and it hangs at 1-2.
It's been a good pitch tonight for Jon Lester, that changeup. Good job that time by DeRosa just to foul that pitch off. It was a very good location from Lester.
Didn't miss by much, didn't get the call.
Right at the top of the strike zone, but Al Porter did not see it as a strike. Amica Insurance is the proud sponsor of the Amica Pit Zone.
Another close pitch, not called a strike. On the ground down the third baseline, a foul ball. Three-two pitch. On the ground down the third baseline. It's fair this time. Middlebrooks with a long throw that gets there in time. Lester has not allowed a base runner so far in this one. It's 1-0 Boston.
No, if she was with her man, I would probably be able to make a prediction on whether it's going to last or not. But seeing she's not, I wish her nothing but bliss.
So you're not going to get involved is basically what you're saying.
No, I have to see them as a couple, and I can get a pretty good read on whether they're going to make it or not. But seeing that
she's on her own is what you're saying.
What's that?
She's on her own.
Yeah, I wish her nothing but the best. I really do.
Shane Victorino leading it off here in the inning. Pitch in there for a strike to Victorino to even the count at 1-1. Second time he was up, he walked against Ramon Ortiz.
Remember when we had the dating game? Remember that game?
Sox Appeal?
Sox Appeal.
Yes, in right field.
I wish we still had that.
That was
fun.
so much great theater for us.
That was fun.
On a nightly basis when they would tape it live here at Fenway, that was great. That was a whole season of that. I miss it.
A lot of people like that.
You had, 3 dates during the course of the game, and then you had to pick one, and then the whole crowd saw who you picked. And
exactly.
You put the sign up.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was really good.
Yeah. That's ball 4, and Victorino walks for the second time tonight. It's the 5th walk given up by Ortiz. I want to remind you to stay with Nesson after the game for WB Mason Extra Innings Live. Tim Wakefield is in studio to help break down tonight's action along with Clubhouse Reaction and John Farrell's post-game press conference. WB Mason Extra Innings Live. Can't go wrong when you buy right. WB Mason.
I think you had like a half inning, didn't you, to throw all your smack out at her? And
I think so. You might have had
was it 2 or 3?
I don't know if it was that long.
It wasn't very long.
It seemed like it was a pretty short period of time.
And I know I wouldn't have much except, how you doing. And after how you doing, I don't have anything.
How you doing?
How you doing? Right?
Yeah.
How you doing?
And then how you doing?
Yeah.
And then that's it. A strike over the outside corner. They say, well, what do you like to do? And you say,
pretty much nothing. I like to do baseball games.
What do you do with your time off? What are your hobbies? Go to first, and back to the bag is Victorino.
I got a good line, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's sitting there by herself, and say to her, you by yourself? And she'll say, yes. And you say, you shouldn't be.
And
that's a good line.
And then you just walk away.
And then you go, how you doing? And you walk away.
Go to first, and back to the bag is Victorino. Brett Cecil, left-hander, is up in the pen. I wonder if Phoebe realizes how lucky she really is to have you.
Oh, yeah, she does. She certainly does. She's well aware of how lucky she is. She lets me know every day.
Pedroia goes chasing after that pitch, 0-2. Dustin walked in the first inning, flied out to right in the third. On the ground, and Meister's Turris lays it out, throws to second. It's late. Everybody's safe.
Going to have an argument at second base as Gibbons comes popping out of the dugout. But it looked like it was a good call at second base, at least from way up here. As Turris did a nice job diving for this ball, but then he had a hard time getting it out of his glove. You can see right there. And by the time he makes the throw to second base, yeah, Victorino was safe. Close play, but safe. Once again, good hustle on the part of the Red Sox.
Well, join Nesson and AT&T in support of the One Fund Boston to benefit the victims of the marathon bombing. Text Boston to 80108 to donate $10 now or visit onefundboston.org. Message and data rates may apply. For full terms, go to mgive.org/T. Runners at first and second, nobody out in the fifth inning as David Ortiz, his third plate appearance of the night. And he takes ball one down and in. Big Papi had the misfortune of grounding into a 4-6-3 double play in the first inning. Then was walked intentionally in the third. Ramon Ortiz has walked 5 in the game. One has turned into a run. And Ortiz on the ground right side. DeRosa lays it out. His second for one. That's all they'll get. But a force out at second base of Pedroia for the first out of the inning.
And diving all over that infield right now is Turris with a dive. Now DeRosa with a dive, and he makes that shuffle pass to second base to get the force out. Really no other way to get that ball at second but to kind of throw it sidearm in that direction. Good play by DeRosa.
So first and third, one out. Mike Napoli coming up. Napoli is grounded to short, reached on a fielder's choice. He is 0 for 2 in the game. That'll miss. A little bit high, apparently. 2-0. Shane Victorino at third base. David Ortiz at first base. One out here in the fifth. 2-0 the count to Mike Napoli. Napoli hits it on the ground to short. As Turris will go to second for one, on to first for two. Again, the Blue Jays get out of it as we head for the sixth. 1-0 Boston. Boston on top of Toronto, as leading off here for the Jays is Brett Laurie. Laurie, Rasmus, and his Turris 7, 8, and 9 for the Jays expected in the inning. Framed by Saltalamacchia. Only too far inside. Eight ground ball outs for Lester so far, 2 strikeouts. Foul back, 2-2. Dunkin' Donuts is proud to give back at every Red Sox home game. Dunkin' hosts a nonprofit children's organization. Thousands of kids have had the chance to catch a Sox game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts, who welcome the House of Possibilities from Easton, Mass. to historic Fenway Park. Dunkin' Donuts committed to the community. Fouled off down the right field line by Laurie. Two to Laurie. And a line drive to center field. In comes Ellsbury, and he'll make the catch. That was hit on a line. Unfortunately, Jacoby Ellsbury was in the neighborhood as he reels it in. Second time Laurie has lined out in this game. He lined out to third in the third inning, and now he lines out to center here in the sixth.
He's probably made the best contact, most solid contact tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays.
One down, Kobe Rasmus struck out in the third inning. He is 0 for 1. And the pitch outside for ball one. It's time now for a Toyota game break. Let's head back out to the Garden and join Jack Edwards and Andy Brickley.
Well, guys, I have no worry because I picked them in 5, so I know it's going to be a good third period.
All right, guys, thanks much. 2 balls, 1 strike here to Kobe Rasmus with 1 out in the 6th inning. Lester shakes off 1 sign, and now at 2-1. He's going to be in there for a strike on the fastball, and it's 2-2. Outside for ball 3, full count. Lester has struck out 2. He's not walked anybody so far in his outing. Rasmus fouls it off and stays alive. On deck, the number 9 hitter, Meiser is Turris. Lester 70 pitches deep into his outing. Rasmus hits a high fly ball to right center field. Victorino calling and catching out number 2 of the inning. The Red Sox Foundation helps children play ball for fun, health, and for life. One way they do that is through the RBI program, which stands for Reviving Baseball in Inner Cities. We salute our friends at HB Hood who support the Red Sox Foundation. David Ross got some double bubble ready to go. Never a bad time to have double bubble. This is line to third, and it's going to be a base hit down the left field line for Meiser is Turris, who heads to second, and the throw is not going to be in time. After Jon Lester retired the first 17 batters of this game in a row, Meiser is Turris with a double down the line.
Good idea by Saltalamacchia, too, to go out now and talk to Jon Lester, get him back, realizing this is now a 1-0 ball game. You know, it starts to get in the back of your mind. You got a perfect game going. It's a changeup right here up over the head of Middlebrooks. It's certainly a clean base hit. And now you got 2 outs and a man in scoring position in a 1-0 game.
And a pinch hitter coming up here. Looks like Adam Lind is going to bat for Rajay Davis. And it is Lind. So 17 in a row retired by Jon Lester to begin his night. Doubled by his Turris. Now Adam Lind, the batter, here in the 6th inning. And for the first time tonight, Lester will work from the stretch. There's ball 1. It's got to be an odd thing to pitch for, what, an hour and a half or so here into this game And now all of a sudden to be pitching from the stretch after the full wind all night.
Exactly right, Don. You go that whole game out of the windup, and all of a sudden you know, deep into the ball game, the 6th inning, the first guy reaches base. You haven't done this since out in the bullpen.
And he misses with the first 2 pitches, 2-0. Lind is 3 for 27 against Jon Lester. He has a 111 batting average. Two-0 pitch. And that's going to miss. Everything's been away. 3-0. Three-0 pitch. And there's a strike, 3-1. Three-one pitch. That is strike 2, so Lester battles back. Lester got down 3-0, full count now. The runner at second base. The Red Sox on top by just a run. Red Sox have had all kinds of chances tonight, but only 1 run. They have left 7 men on base. Swing and a miss, and Lester strikes out Lind and the inning. His 3rd K. Couldn't have come at a better time. 1-0 Red Sox. Sox games, visit Ace Ticket for great seats at the lowest prices. Ace Ticket also has your seats for all of this summer's hottest concerts. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. A 1-0 Red Sox lead. Jon Lester, after retiring the first 17 batters of the night, gives up a double to Meiser's Turris, but then he strikes out the pinch hitter and Adam Lind to end the inning. And the Red Sox come to bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning against the new pitcher Brett Cecil into the game now for the Blue Jays. His 17th appearance, 1-0 with a 1.50 earned run average, 20 Ks to 7 walks, and opponents hitting under 200 against Cecil at just 177. Well, the opponents 11 for 62 on the year is a grounder. Little nubber, and out goes Aaron Sebia, flips it underhanded for the out of Daniel Nava. That was a great play by Aaron Sebia, and he got quite a bit behind that underhanded throw to first base.
He sure did, and he probably couldn't have done it any other way. If he runs, picks up the baseball, and throws it overhand, Nava's probably going to be safe. Look how far Aaron Sebia has to go to get this ball, then the underhand flip with something on it to get the out. Very nice play by J.P. Aaron Sebia.
One out here in the 6th inning and brings up Jared Saltalamacchia. Well, the Red Sox, Jerry, have certainly had their chances in this game. They have left 7 men on base. There have been 5 walks handed out by the starting pitcher for the Blue Jays. They've been able to turn 2 key double plays, but they've made errors in innings, and Red Sox have had base runners in every inning, at least 2, but have only 1 run to show for it so far.
That's been overshadowed by the great pitching of Jon Lester so far in this game, but you're right, Don. The Red Sox have had opportunities to make this a nice, comfortable lead.
They've lacked the clutch hit so far tonight. Saltalamacchia, it's a 1-1 to short right. Out goes DeRosa, the second baseman, still going, and makes the catch. A little backpedal at the end. 2 down. Well, on May 15th, join 100 of Boston's top chefs as they come together in a show of strength and solidarity to raise $1 million for the One Fund. Boston Bites Back will be a once-in-a-lifetime tasting event at Fenway Park, bringing Bostonians together to eat, drink, and demonstrate Boston's unrelenting spirit. To learn more, buy tickets, or bid on an auction item, please visit www.bostonbitesback.org.
Well, Don, I actually spoke with Ming Tsai, the owner of Blue Ginger and Blue Dragon, and he's one of the chefs that decided to create this event. And he said, food is our common ground, and this event is really an occasion for Bostonians to reconnect over food, mingle with different chefs, and honor the city's resilience. I think it'll be a perfect opportunity for Bostonians to literally bite back.
It'll be a great event. I'm a big fan of Ming Tsai, Jerry.
You're a big fan of food.
Yeah, that's part of it, but he is a great chef. Watched him for years on PBS. Terrific guy.
Do you know him?
I have not met him before. 1-1 pitch. Is a liner that is a fair ball. This time Middlebrooks used in the opposite field. Over to plate is Bautista, and to second base goes Will Middlebrooks. Got himself a double with 2 outs. His second double of the night. First one was off the wall. This one the other direction.
Yeah, we don't see Will do this very often. Go to the opposite field, especially down that right field line. Gets the fastball inside from Cecil, gets the hands inside the baseball and shoots it to the left of Encarnacion. Bautista has to chase it down as it rattles off the wall. And in scoring position, Will Middlebrooks at second base.
So 2 down, and Middlebrooks at second base as Stephen Drew stands in. Drew tonight 0 for 2. He's grounded out to first base and fly to center field.
You're a very picky eater. I would call you a very picky eater.
You think so?
Oh. I've never seen anybody like you, to be honest about it. I mean, every piece of chicken or steak or whatever you get, is this cooked? It doesn't look cooked. It looks a little red.
I'm a little cautious of some of the cafeterias around the league. I'm a little cautious.
I think you're like that everywhere. We go to top quality restaurants sometimes on a day off, and you're is this like a little grizzly to you? Right, just eat it.
Well, you only have a little bit of time, and you don't want to get sick. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. But I'm not picky about what I eat. I eat everything.
No, you eat everything, but it's you're very concerned about how it's prepared.
Well, that I'm concerned about. Yeah.
And 99.9% of the time, it's fine, but not to you. You leave a plate because you don't think, and everybody else has already ate.
Right. Chicken makes me nervous. 1-2 pitches to center field. Rasmus is there. And he'll make the catch that ends the inning. We're through 6 from Fenway. It's a tight one. Red Sox on top by 1. 7th inning, a 1-0 Red Sox lead as Melky Cabrera leads it off and takes strike 1. Cabrera grounded out to third base in the first inning, flied out to the warning track in the 4th inning. He pitches right now for Jon Lester as he works the first batter of the 7th inning. And he turns on this, does Cabrera, foul. Thought about it, but it is the ball outside, and Cabrera not pulling the trigger. Will be followed by Bautista and Encarnacion. Toughest part of this Blue Jays order, 2, 3, and 4. Cabrera protecting the plate and fouling it off to the right. Red Sox beginning the night in a tie with the Orioles, and Yankees atop the American League East. Baltimore tonight is trailing Minnesota 1-0 in the 2nd inning in Minnesota. Well, the Yankees have a 4-3 lead over Kansas City. This is on the ground to Drew at short. And that's the first out of the 7th inning. The game summary is brought to you by Xfinity from Comcast. Well, Ramon Ortiz hung in there. He ended up walking 5-1 intentionally in 5 innings, but only gave up 1 run. Jon Lester retired the first 17 batters he faced before Meister's Turris doubled off him. It's been a nice night for Will Middlebrooks, 2 for 3 in the game with a couple of doubles. And Shane Victorino is 1 for 1. Red Sox run coming on a ground out by Will Middlebrooks in the 2nd inning. His 13th RBI of the season. 0-1 Bautista. Chopped up the middle as Drew off balance with a nifty play turned in. Red Sox shortstop showing some range right there. 2 down.
Yeah, going right over that past that second base bag toward the outfield, towards center field. Gets the big high bounce, able to spin around and make that throw to first base and throw a strike to Napoli. Nice play by Drew. Well, we understand Clark MacArthur has scored for the Maple Leafs. They lead it 2-0 now at the Garden.
Two down here in the 7th inning. Edwin Encarnacion, the batter.
The Red Sox have had the shift on Encarnacion all night long. They have the 3 infielders on the left side of the infield. You don't see that very often for right-handed hitters.
Did he go? They'll check. No, he did not, says Greg Gibson.
Good call by Gibson over at first base.
Foul back, 1-2. Lester's retired 19 out of 20 so far. There's 2 outs in the 7th inning. With a 1-2 pitch. That is downstairs for ball 2, and that is pitch 90 for Lester. Outside for ball 3, full count. Encarnacion will pop it up. With a shift on, it's Pedroia backpedaling to the outfield. Nava is behind him, but Pedroia makes the catch. 7th inning stretch. It's 1-0 Boston. And get all your sports news tonight later on from Nesson Daily. All the action from the Garden here at Fenway Park, and from David Ortiz also, as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. What's in there anyway? As David's looking into the camera. Jacoby Ellsbury to lead it off. That's what you call an extreme close-up.
It's kind of like your shot.
It is.
Camera up here.
What I have every night. Jacoby Ellsbury takes a pitch inside, ball 1. See? Right in your face.
Oh, God. People are running from their television right now.
Right in your face.
Look at that head.
Look at that. The head can't get any bigger. One-0 is in there for strike, and it's 1-1. Ellsbury 0 for 3 in the game. He's grounded out twice to second and flied out to left. Into center field, a base hit, and a good start to the bottom of the 7th inning. And send it down to Jenny.
Well, Don, after after a tough stretch. We asked fans at home if they thought it is very important to win this series, and here are some of our best answers brought to you by AT&T. We have can't afford bad stretches in a tough AL East. Jay Fargo says it's important confidence-wise to scare other MLB teams. And Steve, I think, said it all. Winning the series is important to reestablish momentum. Sox need good pitching, better defense, and fewer mental mistakes.
Well, it has been a tough stretch. Jerry mentioned off the top what's been unusual about the stretch has been the defense for the Red Sox. It was so good to begin the year. So Ellsbury at first base, and showing bunt, pulling it back is Victorino for strike one. Victorino's been on 3 times, a single and 2 walks. Low throw, and Encarnacion had to go down to get that. Brett Cecil into his second inning of relief. There is action in the pen now for the Jays. Mickey Story is up in the pen. Story called up from Buffalo yesterday. The 1 pitch is up and away, and the count is 1-1. Throw to first, and back to the bag easily is Ellsbury. Victorino pops it up, foul, back and out of play. And CB gives it a look, but it's well back into the seats. On the ground and thrown to left field, a base hit. Ellsbury takes second on the single by Victorino, who's aboard for the 4th time tonight.
Yeah, both base hits in this inning coming on the curveball from Cecil. Ellsbury with a base hit up the middle on a curveball. That time Victorino to the right of his Torres. And Sox would love to get a couple of runs in this game, put some distance between themselves and the team that is second in the American League in home runs.
2 on, nobody out. And for the Red Sox, that was their 7th hit of the night. There is Dustin Pedroia, who walked in the first inning, fly to right in the 3rd, and singled in the 5th inning. He takes strike one. Red Sox have left 8 men on base through the first 6 innings. They have the first 2 on here in the 7th. Ellsbury at second, Victorino at first. And now Cecil wants to talk to Aaron Sebia. Are you a leader of a group of 20 or more? If so, a Red Sox game at Fenway Park is a perfect place for your next outing. Call 617-226-6835 to talk with a group ticket representative to plan the perfect trip to Fenway. 1-1 the count to Pedroia. 2 on, nobody out. And a swing and a miss. Fell down. He swung so hard.
I think Pedroia lost his footing on that swing. A 2-0 pitch. Actually a 0-1 pitch, excuse me. And then the big swing. And it looks like that back foot buckled on him.
The 0-2 will bounce in. The runner's going to try to advance, and they will get there.
Good base running.
Ellsbury to third. Victorino to second on the wild pitch, uncorked by Brett Cecil.
Excellent read by Ellsbury at second base. Saw that ball bounce. Knew it was going to be quite a distance away from Aaron Sebia. Breaks right away. And the Red Sox now with 2 men in scoring position with nobody out. Infield coming in for Toronto.
Pedroia takes that pitch up high, and it is now 2-2. Pedroia fouls it back, still 2-2. Single by Ellsbury to begin the inning. Victorino then singled. Wild pitch from Brett Cecil gets him to second and third with nobody out. David Ortiz waiting on deck as Pedroia waits on a 2-2 pitch. Down and in, full count. Ellsbury at third, Victorino at second, nobody out. Line to right center field on the run is Bautista to drop in for a hit. Ellsbury will score, and the Red Sox take a 2-0 lead. Bad throw back into the infield, but no further advance for the base runners. Pedroia drives in the Red Sox second run of the night.
Oh, what a nice at bat that was by Dustin Pedroia. He really had to battle hard in that at bat and finally picks up the line drive base hit. Bautista, a little bit of a gamble here as he comes over. It looked like the ball might get by him, but he's able to corral it and get it back into the infield. Only 1 run scores. For a second, I thought that ball was going to get by him out there in right field. Just quickly gets it back into the infield to try to prevent other runs from scoring.
So first and third with nobody out. Infield coming in here for the Jays. Not all the way in, but in. Ortiz is grounded into a double play, intentionally walked, and then grounded into a fielder's choice last time up. As he takes strike one. They've been now 0 for his last 15. Very high, 1-1. Gulf Oil is proud to be the official electricity provider of the Boston Red Sox. Victorino at third, Pedroia at first. Seven out of 8 on the year for Pedroia. High again, 2-1. And Aaron Seavey is going out to talk to Brett Cecil.
Hola, le habla el Big Papi. Manda tu historia acerca del por qué viene el domingo Día de las Madres a Fenway. Yo escogeré una y me juntaré contigo y tu madre antes del juego. Ve a nesen.com/historia y escogeremos la historia del Día de las Madres tuyas.
Well, again, you can send in your story if you have tickets on Sunday, for Sunday's Mother's Day game, to nesen.com, and Big Papi may choose yours and may get a meet and greet with David Ortiz.
And if you want, you can talk to him in 2 different languages.
That's right. Ortiz with a swing and a miss, strikes out. First strikeout for Cecil, and that's a big one for Cecil. It'll be his last pitch as John Gibbons comes out. He's going to make the move here for the Jays. It's 2-0 Boston with 1 out here in the 7th.
Two 2-0 Red Sox have the lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Well, this whiff is presented by Head & Shoulders, who challenge men to take a whiff at what a double dose of confidence smells like. Good shot, breaking ball that time from Cecil to David Ortiz to pick up the strikeout.
So Brett Cecil's night is over, as into the game is Mickey Story. His 9 appearances in Buffalo before being called up yesterday. 3.63 earned run average. 0-1 as he deals with Mike Napoli, as that is strike 1 to Napoli. Red Sox have runners at first and third with 1 down. On the ground, foul over by the Jays dugout and into it. So Brett Cecil responsible for the 2 men on, and Victorino at third, Pedroia at first. Goes an inning and a third and gives up 4 hits. So far 1 run. Didn't walk anybody, struck out a batter, but it is Victorino at third, Pedroia at first. Napoli down 0-2. Bruins get a goal. Zdeno Chara. 8 minutes left to go on the third, and that throw over almost handcuffed Encarnacion.
And Pedroia diving back to the bag, and Encarnacion almost got picked off himself by the throw.
Pedroia takes off as Napoli fouls it off to the right. Red Sox opened up this bottom of the 7th inning with 3 straight hits. Ellsbury, Victorino, and then an RBI single by Dustin Pedroia give the Red Sox a 2-0 advantage. Now trying to add on. Here's an 0-2 pitch to Mike Napoli. And a swing and a miss. Napoli strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Blue Jays pitching. 2 down. Well, tonight's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Coors Light. The Royals' Jeremy Guthrie is now 10-0 with a 2.21 ERA in his past 18 starts dating back to August of last season. And Robinson Cano is the 52nd player in MLB history to reach 1,500 hits through his first 9 seasons. Cano is the 5th second baseman to reach this mark and the 4th Yankee. 2 outs in the 7th, and Daniel Nava, the batter, he has walked, fly to center, and grounded out. The breaking ball slips out of the hands of Story.
Once again, Aaron Sebia throwing out signs to his middle infielders. If he's not going to throw through, they don't want those guys moving. They want him staying home, not being pulled out of position.
In there for a strike, 1-1. Mickey Story, 27 years old, from West Palm Beach, Florida. Last year appeared in the majors with the Houston Astros. 26 games out of the pen, 0-1 with a 3.86 earned run average. Originally an Oakland A's draft choice in 08. Named off waivers by the Jays in the offseason. 1-1 is outside, ball 2. Drives one out towards deep left center field. Back goes Rasmus, looking up, and it is high off the wall. Victorino scores. Pedroia will come around and score. It's a 2-run wall ball double for Daniel Nava, and the Red Sox take a 4-0 lead.
Now those are the kind of hits the Red Sox have been looking for right there. Nava high off that left field wall to get a couple of runs home with 2 outs in the inning. Big 2-out double by Daniel Nava. He gets a 2-1 fastball. Uppercut swing. Looked like maybe it was gone, but right at the top of the wall. And the Red Sox now have a few extra runs in their comfort zone.
Those runs are charged to Brett Cecil. It gives up 3 runs in an inning and a third. But on the hook for this game right now is Ramon Ortiz, the starter tonight for the Jays. And Saltalamacchia takes strike 1. Jared singled back in the 2nd inning. Since then, a strikeout and a pop out. 1 for 3 night for the Red Sox catcher. He was down 0-2. Will Middlebrooks waiting on deck. He's had a nice night tonight. 2 doubles and a ground out RBI. Low for ball 1.
A lot of breaking balls from Story, sliders and curveballs since coming into this ball game. It was a fastball that Nava hit high off that wall. In the dirt, 2-2.
Did he go? They'll check. No, he did not. Crew Chief Jerry Lane. In the air to right field for Saltalamacchia. Bautista goes back. It'll be over his head and one hop the wall. Nava scores. Saltalamacchia to second with an RBI double. Red Sox lead it 5-0.
Now Saltalamacchia with a couple of hits on the night. He had a base hit back in the second on a changeup. This time it's a breaking ball. And you see right there, Bautista turning the wrong way, but it wouldn't have made any difference anyway because that ball was well over his head. Shorts hops the wall at the bullpen, and the Red Sox have a big 7th inning here.
A 4-run 7th inning so far. Will Middlebrooks the batter. Mentioned his 2 doubles tonight as he takes the breaking ball for strike 1. Double off the wall in left and a double to right field for Middlebrooks. Flares it foul off to the right, and it's 0-2. This one fouled off Aaron Sebia's mask. Still 0-2. Rajai Davis leaving the game with a left oblique strain when we saw Adam Lynn pinch hit for Davis in the 6th inning. He struck out, but Davis leaving with an oblique strain. The 0-2 pitch is low and away, and it's 1-2. Mickey Story coming in. He struck out first batter he faced in Napoli, but since then back-to-back doubles. Nava and Saltalamacchia. Middlebrooks chops to third base. Laurie's got it. Throws to first, and that will end the inning. But the Red Sox score 4 times in the inning and take a 5-0 lead. A 4-run bottom of the 7th inning take a 5-0 lead. They're out hitting the Blue Jays 10-1 in this game. Jon Lester had a very lengthy wait as the Red Sox came up with the 4 runs for him in the bottom of the 7th inning. He has given up the 1 hit through the first 7 in this contest. And here's J.P. Arancibia to lead it off as he takes strike 1. Arancibia struck out in the 2nd. He popped out in the 5th. There's a grounder hit sharply foul. So finally some runs for Lester tonight. It took a while, and the Red Sox certainly had their opportunities. Not only the 1 run going into the 7th inning. 4 runs on 5 hits in the inning, and they leave a batter. So they've left 9 men on base in 7 innings, but a good lead now. 0-2 is fouled back. Martarosa and Brett Laurie expected to bat here in the 8th inning for the Blue Jays. Fly ball out to left center field. Nava from left coming over to make the catch for the first out of the 8th inning. Send it down to Jenny Dell.
Don, a quick update on Andrew Bailey, who's on the DL with a sore bicep. He played catch for the first time yesterday, progressing to 105 feet today. Manager John Farrell said he'll need to get to at least 150 feet before getting on the slope of the mound. Bailey is eligible to come off the DL next Tuesday, but indicated that that was unlikely. There has been no discussion yet on whether he would need a rehab assignment.
All right, Jenny, it was certainly a welcome sight to see him back throwing pain-free, if nothing else. He's on the ground at third. Middlebrooks will pick it. 2 down in the inning.
You know, Jenny Dell, she's got friends all over the country.
Yeah.
Where did we go on the last trip? We were in Texas, right?
Yes, Texas.
I ran into about 5 girls that apparently went to school with Jenny.
Really?
And they saw our Nesson shirts that we were wearing.
Yeah.
And they said, "You work with Nesson?" I said, "Yeah." And they said, "So does Jenny Dell." And they started telling me everything about Jenny Dell.
Wow.
Their favorite music.
What'd you learn, Jerry?
I learned that one of your favorite songs is "Dream On." Is that true? By Aerosmith?
That is one of my favorites. Yes, sir.
Wow.
I tell you. See?
Where was I during all this?
You were late as usual. I was sitting in the lobby.
Oh, this was the 2 hours you were sitting in the lobby waiting?
Waiting for you, yes.
1-0 is lined to second base, and Pedroia makes the grab that ends the inning. Lester's given up 1 hit through 8. Red Sox lead it by 5.
28-82.
5-0. The Red Sox have the lead over the Blue Jays as we play into the bottom of the 8th inning. Stephen Drew leading it off. Only member of the Red Sox not to bat in the 7th inning, as he takes the strike, and the count evens at 1-1. Jon Lester on the other side retired 24 of 25 tonight in incredible fashion. This has been an incredible outing for Lester. He's thrown 99 pitches. He retired the first 17 batters of this game before giving up the double to Meiser's Turris. That's been it through the first 8. There will be a game 5 or game 6 in Toronto. Or game 5 in Toronto. What will it be? It'll be a game 6 in Toronto.
Game 6.
Swing and a miss. And Drew is out number 1 of the 8th.
Breaking ball that time for the strikeout against Stephen Drew. Pretty good curveball. He mentioned throwing a lot of sliders and curveballs. Amica Insurance is the proud sponsor of the Amica Pit Zone. The only reason I know it's 6 because I picked them in 5, so I'm very disappointed. So back to Toronto they go.
Ellsbury takes the strike. Jacoby had a hit his last time up, single to center field in the 7th. Sends it foul, and it's 0-2. Shane Victorino waiting on deck as the Sox bat here in the bottom of the 8th. Nobody warming in the pen. This is Jon Lester's game, trying to go all the way as Lester's thrown 99 pitches. This one is fouled off into the seats. He's not doing it just against anybody either. This has been amazing tonight against a very good Toronto Blue Jays lineup. This is lined to left center. Rasmus will get there for the 2nd out of the 8th inning. Hess and Hess Express are proud sponsors of the Red Sox and the Red Sox on Nesson. During the 2013 season, Hess and Hess Express will donate $500 to the pediatric trauma program at Boston's Children's Hospital for every home run hit by the Red Sox. To date, $19,500 has been donated. Hess and Hess Express committed to helping the cause. 2 outs in the 8th. Shane Victorino has been on 4 times in the game. He has singled twice and walked twice. It's out of the way, a ball 1 inside. So 2 down in the inning, and Victorino now the count of 1-1. On deck is Dustin Pedroia. A swing and a miss and a pitch down and in. Breaking ball has been good at times for Story. Story's been charged with 1 run since coming in the 7th inning. Fly ball right field sends Bautista back. He'll get there to make the catch that ends the inning. We are headed for inning number 9. 5-0 Red Sox. Jon Lester into the top of the 9th inning with a 5-0 lead. Red Sox out hitting the Jays 10-1. And the guy who's got the only hit will be batting second in this inning. That's Meiser's Turris. But first it is Kobe Rasmus leads it off for the Blue Jays. And grounds one foul. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, never forgets it. Before you're a patient, you're a person. Beth Israel Deaconess, human first. Learn more at bidmc.org/human first. Rasmus on a check swing on ball in the dirt, and the count is 1-1. Red Sox do have action in case. Right-hander Clayton Mortensen is up in the pen. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
A cut fastball there from Jon Lester, working against that left-handed hitter.
Mentioned that he's retired 24 out of 25. It's not been a huge strikeout night for Lester. 3 strikeouts in the game.
No, there's been a lot of contact.
A little bit high, and it is 2-2. Rasmus will foul it straight back. Rasmus tonight has struck out swinging and fly to right. Meiser's Turris, the only hit on the night for the Jays. Two pitch. That is strike 3, and that's the 4th strikeout of the night for Jon Lester.
Now still very sharp for Lester on the outside corner that time, going with the fastball. A lot of times you won't get the calls high in the zone, but you'll get them on the corners, and that time Lester did get it on the corner from Alan Porter.
Ball 1 now to Meiser's Turris. It was his double that broke up the perfect game for Jon Lester. He had it 5 2/3 deep into the game, retiring the first 17 men he faced. Turris will ground this foul, and even at 1-1. Advil is the official pain reliever of the Boston Red Sox and proud supporter of volunteers. Go to Advil.com to find out about the Advil Relief in Action campaign. 1-1. On the ground foul again. Ball and 2 strikes. In the dirt, and it's 2-2. Pitch number 110 is just down and in. On the ground to shortstop. Drew's got it. He will fire to first. 2 down in the 9th. No home runs have been hit in this game by the Red Sox. Hess and Hess Express donating $500 to the pediatric trauma program at Boston Children's Hospital for every Red Sox home run. 2013's total stands at 19,500. Thanks to Hess and Hess Express, committed to helping the cause. 2 outs in the 9th, and here is Adam Lind. Swing and a miss for strike one.
Still plenty left on that fastball, too. 94 for Lester on that last pitch.
He is 1 over the minimum in this game. In his no-hitter, he faced 29 batters. This is the 28th he has faced tonight. And that is in there for strike 2. This has been a pretty spectacular outing tonight for Jon Lester.
It's been beautiful to watch.
Oh, 0-2 pitch to Adam Lind. And that is down and away for ball 1. The 1-2 pitch. 2-2. This is the 4th time this season that Lester has thrown 115 pitches. This next pitch will be the most that he's thrown in any outing. Two-two pitch to Lind. And he gets a piece to foul it off and stay alive. Jon Lester with a 2-2 pitch. Foul back, and we'll do it again. Trying to put Lind away here to wrap this up. Two-two to Lind. In there for strike 3. A complete game shutout. A one-hitter for Jon Lester. Betters his record to 5-0, and this was spectacular tonight. What a way to finish it, too, with a strikeout. The exclamation point on what was an incredible night for Jon Lester. His 10th career complete game, and the Red Sox needed this, not only from a pitching standpoint, but from an offensive standpoint, as the Red Sox win it 5-0.
Final strikeout coming on the cut fastball from Jon Lester. Perfect pitch. Beautiful night for Lester tonight.
1 over the minimum for Jon Lester as the Red Sox win it 5-0. His teammates out to congratulate him. So quite a night and quite a start to this 3-game series against the Blue Jays. After dropping 3 out of 4 to the Minnesota Twins, quite a way to bounce back tonight.
I think the only hit that came in that ball game down was on a changeup from Lester. I believe it was a changeup to his Taurus, and that was it.
Let's send it down to Jenny Dell.
John, a complete game shutout, only giving up 1 hit. It seems like everything was working for you tonight.
Yeah, it was good. Salty did a good job early on when we knew they'd be aggressive, just trying to mix our looks as far as 4-seam and 2-seam. And, it was kept the ball down. That's the biggest thing.
You're truly one of the leaders of this pitching staff. Why was it important for you to come out here and really reset a tone?
Well, I mean, it's, you know, anytime you hit a little bit of a skid, you know, it's usually looked upon as the pitcher's fault. So, you know, it's just our job to go out there and try to set the tone for the next game or the next series. So tried to do that tonight, tried to save our bullpen a little bit, and was able to do that.
Certainly saved the bullpen. It's a tough past week for this team, but the team really never gave up. Can you talk a little bit about the character of the players that you play with every day?
Yeah, I mean, we got a bunch of guys that have been around for a long time and have been through the ups and downs of the season. And, you know, nobody in that clubhouse is panicked. I mean, it's only May. We got a long way to go. We got some good times and some bad times to go through. And, you know, the bad times usually bring you closer together as a unit. And you know, we just try to go out and battle every night.
Congratulations, Jon.
Thank you.
5-0 Red Sox win on the incredible night for Jon Lester. Tom Caron, this was a lot of fun.